Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you go in and tell. Yeah, somebody's gonna go in and tell somebody.
Wait, I have to go tell?
She's doing her whole car.
Metal-O-Mania. Side effects may include a stiff neck, leaking genitals, and bitching neighbors. Fuck them.
What's up? This is Carlos from Warbringer, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania.
Hey guys, we're Toxic Ruin, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania with The Crypt.
This is the Crypt from Metal-O-Mania. I got my headphones on and my dick in your cat. Let's party. It's time to metal.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name from Greek mythology and the ancient Greek religion and myth. He is the god of the dead and the king of the underworld, with which his name becomes synonymous. How do you go about pronouncing it? Hades. You do want to stress on the first syllable, the hey syllable. Hades. Hades. God of the dead. Hades. Did you get it?
Call me Killer.
Killer? That's original. You think that up yourself or someone give you a hand with it?
And that's how you open up episode 237 of Metal-O-Mania out there, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Metal-O-Maniacs? And what's up, my brother, Mike Bossier? Thanks for coming over, sir.
Hey. What's up, man? Good to be here again.
I love you, sir. The shows where you come and hang out with me make me happy, man. That's good stuff to me.
Yeah, we were talking like how many times it's been. Maybe you said well over 10. I was saying around 10. You said over 10. That's pretty crazy, man.
Oh, and if we count all the other members of Snipers of Babel, yeah, we might be getting into the dozens, man. So
yeah, right.
And there's only dozens of you. But hey, for those who do not know you already, and like I said, you've been on a bunch of times, so they should already. But if they don't, introduce yourselves to those cats, sir.
I am Mike Bossier with Snipers of Babel, and I'm also in a band called Gaffled. And I own and operate Oblivion Studios, recording a lot of the really great bands around the DMV and getting them showcased on the show. And it all feeds into everything, to this crazy madness we have here going on in Southern Maryland.
Fuck yeah, this crazy web we weave, my brother. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me tonight. And for those who do not know, we are pre-taping this week because my actual self and Skully are on our way to Vegas as this airs tonight. So we may even not be able to interact with everybody live here while the show airs tonight. But we're in Vegas, and my man Mike was kind enough to come and co-host with us so we don't miss any shows and pre-tape. And we got a new Sniper song coming, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's not overlook the fact that we opened up the show tonight with some Lawnmower Death, that band out of the UK, man. Do you remember these cats, Mike?
Yeah, man. Always. And that movie, Lawnmower Man, I always thought of them back then, too, because it was like kind of around that time frame. You know, I was like, man, they should be on the soundtrack, you know. Fun band. I always wonder what happened to them, you know. But, yeah, I remember them on an earache T-shirt I had, a concert T-shirt. They were one of the bands on Earache, I believe, at the time.
Fucking good shit. Well, this new release is called Blunt Cutters. We played Death, Maim, Kill off of it, and it comes out in January. It comes out on January 28th, and it's going to be their first release since 1994, man. Billy in 1994. How crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking welcome back to the fold, gang. Welcome back to the fold. And there's a lot of that underway, man. There's a lot of bands that are kind of jumping on this reemergence of metal these days, you know?
Yep, that's for sure, man. And a local band called Tugboat from back in the day. First recording since 1995. They're going to do some tracking here at Oblivion Studios. So that's pretty cool, you know, that they haven't done anything in that long and they're coming out with stuff. So
crazy.
It's happening, man. You know, a lot of bands are doing that. You know, you just hadn't heard for a while, and, you know, here they come, you know.
Man, well, hey, I welcome them all. You know, I wonder how much of that has to do with being stuck inside for a couple of years and people have been just churning out the fucking, you know, the art, man. You know, that kind of relates to your story. Not only were you stuck inside for COVID and all that shit, you've had some fucked up health bullshit we won't get into for those out there, but you've had a hell of a couple of years, man. So, and you've, as the result, I noticed, are churning out the product, sir.
Yeah, man. These past 2 years have been my dark ages, dude. Not just COVID, but God, man, everything else going on. The sadness has been just unbearable at times. And, you know, with artists, you get influenced by different things. And mine that influences me with writing the most, unfortunately, is sadness and depression and that kind of thing. And
those dark places.
I just had to, so I just harnessed it and went with it, man. And recorded 8 new Sniper songs and 9 brand new Gaffled songs. So it's been just, you know, while I have it, let me get it out there and record it, you know, and just breezing through it, man. It's crazy, you know. But that is, you know, a perfect example, especially for me, you know, because there's periods of time when you're, you know, you're just like not writing really. You're just going through the paces and you're like, how come I can write something, you know, a fucking album, you know, in just a couple months, you know, and then I think back, oh, that's because I was going through this or whatever, you know. So it's amazing how the mind works.
Oh man, yeah, it's the mind's reaction to what the body fucking has to suffer, my friend. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
The mind suffers along with it, but with it we get art, so that's cool. You know, at least there's that part of it. At least there's the silver lining. You're gonna have the dark shit either way, so there might as well be some art as the result of it. What the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
That's it.
You know.
Sure.
Well, and speaking of art, again, this is episode 237 of Metal-O-Mania. We do have my good friend Jerome Marshall coming by later in the show from Contrition. They got a brand new project they're working on. Many of you Chicago metalheads all know Jerome pretty well, and we're super happy that he's going to be joining us on the show. So keep hanging out with us tonight.
Hell yeah.
Hanging out with us. So yeah, that's awesome, Bossier, man. I know you guys are pumping out the jams. You got the Gaffled project going on. You got, got quite a few. You got your hat, quite a few hats on, if you don't mind my noticing.
Yeah, it's just staying busy, and it's weird because Gaffled really never would have come about if Jeremy hadn't, been out of the band for the period of time that he was. And I had a bunch of riff ideas, but they didn't fit into the Sniper thing. So I was like, hey, man, as a form of therapy, let's do the project, And we got Will Dorsey on drums from Body Count, and he's a local guy. And Chris from Snipers on bass, John Stinson on vocals, along with DJ Vic, and doing samples and scratching and stuff like that. And it's just fun, man. It's just a thing that didn't fit what I was doing, but I had a lot of it, so I was like, well, fuck it, might as well make it into a project,
Fuck yeah, man. Have fun with it. That's what it's all about, brother. Who knows how long we got on this fucking marble, man. I'm trying to have some fun with it, baby. So
tell me about it, man. You gotta today's the day, man. Seize it.
Today, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's easier to seize with some Snipers of Babel at my fucking hindsight fucking propelling me to battle, sir. And we got a brand new song coming up, as a matter of fact, later in the show, right? We're gonna play a brand new song for everybody?
Yep, brand new song, yep.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, we're gonna talk about that. I know you and I share a love of Bob Lazar, so we're gonna talk about that some later in the show, if you don't mind, brother.
Awesome.
Cool. That's awesome shit, man. So what else has been going on in your world, man? How was your Thanksgiving and your Halloween and all them good shits?
Well, unfortunately, my mom died last month, and we, buried her right before Thanksgiving. So it's been, especially with the holidays now, it's, the first time without my mom, and that's like to top everything off.
Dude, yeah.
On.
For those who don't, I know you on a personal level. We're friends. I know you've had a stretch, man. You've had a little bit of a run. Most people who are bitching about their COVID stretch, they probably need to shut the fuck up when they're talking to you. If you've been through a brutal stretch, man. But hey, I love you though. Does that help any? No. Yeah. I don't blame you.
Look back, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, but looking at, positive things on the horizon, so that's, you got a passion and I feel for people who don't have that, who, when they wake up, they just like, well, what am I here for? What's my purpose? And that's actually a name in a kind of a story about one of our songs we haven't released yet. So that's one coming up for you. But yeah, you gotta have a passion, man, a fire, and I just feel really bad for people who haven't found that yet, or maybe their fire went out. You know what I mean? It's just sad,
Well, think about the proof of the fact that that's literally vital to life. I mean, the passion is vital to life. People who haven't lived longer, people who are fighting terminal things have a better odds of beating it with passion. You know what I mean? That's not by accident. Those are, you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
It's a direct correlation, man. And for those people who don't have it, I don't even understand what the hell you're doing here. No, I mean, have you not found it yet? Go find it is what I meant to say. Let me reword that. Go find it. Go find your passion.
It's, like I tell my daughter, it's like, you got to try things, man. I've tried so many things, coming up, you go through these phases, and you got to try them out. And then, it's cyclical. You keep coming back to what you're really passionate about. You know what I mean? And you do things and venture out, come right back. And I always come back to this, so but you don't want to have regrets and think, what if I just tried this or that? So you got to go out and try shit,
Fuck yeah,
find
man.
what you are,
Find the thing that makes you, man. My father used to say all the time, man, find what you love and do it till it kills you. Just hope it's something that takes a long time to die with. But
right,
if your love is freebasing, it's probably gonna be a short ride. But I'm just saying, hopefully.
Motocross was my first passion, and because of a wreck, I picked the guitar up, you know, and I just didn't look back, you know, and I was like the young kid at the time, and all my friends were, you know, they're getting their driver's license and starting to drive and, you know, race cars and shit. And I'm still on a dirt bike, you know, and so I just got out of it, you know, because my friends kind of lost interest and I had more friends who were like musicians at that time, you know, so I just got the guitar bug, man, and never looked back.
Fuck yeah. Well, I'm glad you did, man.
Yeah.
You and me are bona fide family right now because we both took that road to be talking to each other right now. You know what I mean? Shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Weird
good
how
shit.
shit works.
Yeah, man. It really is, dude. I love your shirt, by the way. Good stuff.
Yeah. Just got this stuff done. You got to get their CD out, you know, check out all their platforms they're on. Hell Pie, get you a slice, man. They're a great band, local. I recorded all their stuff through the years, and a great band doing good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's
really,
brand
really
new too, right? That's a brand new release, right?
Yeah, Eddie came by on Thanksgiving, and we swapped shirts basically.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll have to, maybe we'll have to track them cats down to get them on the show, man. So.
Yeah, you definitely got to, man. Absolutely.
That's good shit, brother. That's good shit. So when's the last time big old Jeremy's been in there with you?
About 2 weeks. Yeah, we finished up Element, and then I basically talked to you, you know, about releasing, and so yeah, he's his shit's fire, man. You know, on top of what Danny's doing, dude. It's like it really is coming together really well. You know, they're two voices. You know, they're different enough where we'll go, oh, you got two singers, whatever. But well, you'll know when you hear it. You know what I mean? 'Cause
yeah.
it's like they're so. Yeah, it's like Danny, his deep voice is like, I don't know, man. I've never really seen a singer who could do what captures what Jeremy does. Because to me, Jeremy's like the best screamer in the world, man. He's like a fucking grizzly bear, you know. And then you have Danny, who's like a fucking polar bear. You know what I mean? So it's like,
oh yeah, that's my kind of attack, brother.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just crazy assault. It's awesome.
We had Debo on the show recently, as a matter of fact, for everybody. Go into the archives if you missed it. He was a good guest on the show, man. What'd you think of that episode? We had a good time, man. We released a new Snipers song that night.
Yeah, exactly. And Franco Tirador, what were you calling it? Franco Refrigerator or something?
Franco Tyrator. Franco Tyrator. That's what I call
yeah,
it.
Franco Tyrator. That was so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was like, when I watched it, I was like, wow, you know, it's like you guys said some really nice stuff, man. I really appreciate it. It's really nice.
From the heart, brother.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Much love.
But yeah, great episode. Danny's a great stand-up guy, man. You know, one of the best dudes I've ever known, you know, and it's awesome we're in a band finally together, you know. So
yeah, fuck yeah, good
dude. Kind of, you know, he was saying it too, you know, he's kind of been in the band for a couple of years now because we had him on so many, you know, guest spots on songs, and even songs we never even said he guested on, he did backup vocals, you know what I mean? So it's like he's actually been on all our shit all along, you know, as that silent member, you know, but now he's coming out like a fucking polar bear, like we were saying, you know.
Fuck yeah. Well, we're gonna change it to Snipers of Bears here in a minute, man. You got a lot of bear attacks coming out of that motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's good shit, brother. Are you ready to kick into 2022 yet? I mean, you know, we got 1 month left now. We're into December now, so.
And you know, it's like, oh, 2021 is going to be so much better, you know, and it got worse. So honestly, dude, it really can't get much worse from a lot of the shit that's been going down lately. If 2022 doesn't get any better, you know what I mean? It's just like,
dude, hell you say, how dare you say those words?
I think I'm just getting jaded to it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, I'm just trying to smoke more and try to get about it. You know what I mean? Just keep moving on. That's all you can do, you know?
Well, fuck, man. Just jump on a plane and meet us in Vegas. We'll go and fucking party down, bro.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
I've never been there, man.
Oh, really?
I missed out on an opportunity to go when I was 16 with my grandparents, and man, I regret it. You know what I mean? I was doing something else that summer, like racing motocross, and you know, so I was just like I didn't want to miss out, you know, and so yeah, I didn't go. I regret it.
Oh man, you know, we're gonna be plastering social media with Vegas pages, pictures the next few days. But, you know,
hopefully you see some cool shows too. You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I wanted to see the amazing Jonathan, but apparently he may have retired his show. I thought that show still went on, but it might be retired. So
yeah, I think it might be.
That was a big one for me, man. That was kind of a, you know, a lot of metalheads went to those shows too, man. You might see good metalheads in the crowd. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Crazy shit. Well, what do you say? Let's play a couple of jams, man. I appreciate you coming on to help me co-host the show tonight, and it's going to be a good show. We got a kick-ass fucking playlist for everybody. We got Jerome coming by from Contrition in a little bit. But let's play 3 songs for everybody here real quick. Some good brand new jams. Let's play some Obsidious, actually, to open up this little bit of fucking jam session. And Obsidious is a kick-ass band out of... Let me make sure I got my notes here right. This is a single, as a matter of fact. This is a conglomeration of Austria, Germany, United Kingdom, a bunch of musicians. It's got Rafael Trujillo in it. It's got a bunch of dudes, man. They put out a brand new single called Sense of Lust, which we're going to open up this 3-pack with that song for everybody right now. Right behind it, we're going to play for you the fucking new Exodus video, man. The new Exodus video, which I'm excited about, Prescribing Horror, off of the brand new release, which is Persona Non Grata, out now. Please do pick it up. And behind that, we're going to play Infected Chaos. Infected Chaos, the song is Gehenna. This is a band out of Austria, death metal band out of Austria. Their 3rd full-length release is called Dead Aesthetics, and it is out now, so you're going to want to pick that up as well. But before we play these 3 tracks, man, I just want to update everybody. We do still hope to get Zetro onto the show. We've had a couple of scheduling gafus, you know, snafus along the way, but we'll keep you posted, and hopefully he'll be on the show to hang out with us sometime soon. So I'll get your take on that later in the show, maybe, Bozier. I'd like to get your take on that. So
yeah, I'm curious, man. You're fucking lead me on to this, man. I want to.
Yeah, man. I'd like your take, but I'll tell you what. We'll play these 3 songs, and we'll talk about that in a second. So here you go, man. Everybody enjoy some Obsidious, some Exodus, and some Infected Chaos. Don't go anywhere there, because we still have Metal-O-Mania for you.
I don't know. Drugs are out, sex is out, politics are out. Everything is on hold. I mean, we definitely need something new.
some blankets for the night.
How about some beds?
You don't need beds, you're gonna die tomorrow.
When you mix up the letters of heaven, you get...
If you take the red pill, you will enter the Matrix. If you take the blue pill, you will have a boner for 7 hours.
Well, fine.
So
She's
sue
your
me.
wife.
Lock me up.
Pervert, you sick fuck pervert. You have some fetish about bras.
Oh,
with
get
the
out of here,
housekeeper with
fetish.
And dying when you're not really sick is really sick, you know? Really!
A little 3-pack of badassery for your metal listening jams on episode 237. Hanging out with my buddy Mike Bossier. of Snipers of Babel and Gaffled and Oblivion Studios and my family and Metal-O-Mania and all that shit. So I appreciate your time, sir. Again, as Skully and I traipse through Vegas, me and Mike are also here playing metal for you, man. I'm doing two things at once right now.
Yeah. You're going to be ching, ching, ching.
Yeah, hopefully. Give me that cash, man. Pay it off. But that's good shit, man. Well, you may have noticed one of the jams we just played in that 3-pack was some Exodus, man. And just a little update on that. And I want to get your take on this, Mike. I hope I didn't blow our chance to talk to Exodus, because a scheduling snafu of some sort happened recently. We had a scheduled thing to talk with Zetro from Exodus about the new release, Persona Non Grata. Apparently, even he had agreed to a bunch of phone-only interviews, but he agreed to do a Zoom interview with us, which I appreciated. And but on the day of, we came into the studio, we set up. I had questions for him. You know, he's a big candy guy, so I had done a bunch of research on candy to ask him a bunch of candy questions. And our original intention was to air it somewhere around Halloween, so I had a bunch of questions about horror movies. I know he's a big horror movie guy, you know, and for whatever reason, nobody showed up for the day of the meeting. And then they hit us back, his management hit us back later to say, basically, we apologize for the inconvenience. And as of right now, we're not scheduling interviews basically for the foreseeable future. But sorry, basically sorry and fuck you is how I took it, you know.
That sucks.
So, yeah, I'd like to, yeah, what are your thoughts on that part before I proceed, sir?
I mean,
Skully's in the background right now saying I'm a maniac for the rest of the story, and I definitely want to hear what you have to say when I get there. But
I wouldn't take it like personally. You know what I mean? I think you just got caught at a bad time when they're making a decision change or something, and I wouldn't even think, you know, it would be anything to fall back on Zetro. You know what I mean? I don't think he had anything to do with it. It sounds like a manager. Absolutely.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you 100% on that. Well, and what you can't help but wonder from my perspective is, did Zetro ever know about the fucking thing in the first place? I mean, I don't know for sure that he did.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he probably did, you know?
Right. Well, and honestly, my reaction was to fire off an email to the management person. And, you know, basically at first just saying, hey, I waited 15 minutes. I sent an email that said, hey, I'm in the Zoom meeting. Just wondering, making sure that we're confirmed. Although we had confirmed the day before, literally 24 hours before the meeting, we had confirmed this thing. It was confirmed. We were ready to rock. And this is another part of this, actually, that as a rule, I don't post advertisements about someone coming on the show until we've done the interview. It's just, I have a superstition almost about it, maybe, or whatever. But Exodus is a big deal. So I made an exception. I made an exception. I made a big flyer. I put it on social media. I was, you know, and literally when I did make that decision to share that flyer, we had just confirmed in less than 24 hours between the confirmation and the meeting. So I was pretty confident we were good, you know. So for it not to have happened, what would you have done, sir? What would you have done?
I'm wondering if, you know, he got the confirmation and then he was just like, shit, I didn't say anything to Steve. So, you know, but I'll just go ahead and confirm it, and I'll just follow up with Steve, and probably Steve wasn't available now. So he just, like, when the time came, he just let it pass and ignored it, you know?
Can't help but think so.
Yeah, I think he dropped the ball, man. I really do, you know?
Well, so what would I waited 15 minutes. I sent the email basically saying I'm still in the Zoom meeting. And about 15 minutes after that is when I got an email saying, basically, I'm sorry, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but now we're not doing meetings for the foreseeable future. We're not doing any interviews. So basically, kind of, we missed it, and now, there's no even return, no like, hey, we fucked up, let's do it next Tuesday, nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I was irritated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little irritated.
That's weird, man. Because I know their album's doing really good, man, on the charts and stuff like.
It's amazing.
I'm wondering, maybe it's like, I don't know. I hate to say it, but maybe it's getting to their head. You know, they're like, oh, we're you know, above all this. You know, we're not going to talk to anyone but Rolling Stone or something. You know what I mean, or something.
Right. I hope that's not the case, but of course I can't help but wonder it. You know what I mean? Did we somehow not end up passing the sniff test or something? And which is fair, honestly. That's completely fair. If you don't want to come on this show, dude, I'm not motherfucking Wolfman Jack in 1984. I get it. So
yeah,
but just own that. You know what I mean? Be like, fuck you. I will say Havoc. We've only actually had one band ever tell us flat out refuse to come on the show, and that was Havoc out of Colorado. And their response was, we're busy, basically. We've already mapped out our media response. You ain't part of it. And that's how it is. And,
that's kind of how I'm seeing it, is kind of coming at that angle because, like they're getting to that next tier, where Exodus, their album's doing really good, and hey, man, fucking ride that wave, and maybe it's just, the timing, you know what I mean? If you caught them a month earlier, you would have had the interview,
Right.
But
I can't help but wonder that. I can't help but wonder that. Exactly true, man. So, well, and
crazy.
In closing on that, I guess, and then we'll move on to funner topics, but I sent the last email basically like, I feel like you guys did us dirty. I don't really appreciate that. We put an entire day of effort towards this around here, and I'm not sure what makes anybody think your time is more valuable than my own. You know what I mean? My time is as valuable to me as yours is to you. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean? So, I don't appreciate it. I realize by sending this email, I probably go to the bottom of the pile, but it is how I feel, and whatever it is, what it is. So we'll see.
Dude, I've had people like book a whole weekend of studio time, and when it comes time, like, hey, what time you guys showing up? And I'll follow up with them, and they're like, oh, we can't come in. And I'm like, well, when the fuck are we going to say anything? You know what I mean?
I scheduled my time around you, motherfucker. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like now my whole weekend's shot. Now it's like you going to work and not having work for 2 days.
Right.
So, I just don't understand it. My job's unimportant. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm just sitting here waiting for someone to drop by to record. You know what I mean?
Right. It's crazy, man. I don't understand it, but but that is the update. That's where we are with the Exodus interview. But I still love the album, and I love that song we just played for everybody. Prescribing Horror is a badass song, and I think Zetro sounds amazing on it. I know a lot of people are kind of back and forth, but bring back Dukes and all that shit. I see a lot of that, but man, I think Zetro is amazing. I love Zetro. So
yeah, and especially with John Hunting, him going through what he did.
Right.
And
amazing.
Saw a picture the other night, him standing up on the drums. He held his shirt up to show his scar. And it definitely, chokes you up a little bit, man,
Fuck yeah, man. Straight badass.
Yeah.
That dude's a straight badass, and I'm glad he's on his way back to good health. As I am you, my friend. As I am you. So
thanks,
good stuff.
Brother.
Good stuff. And don't forget, everybody, we do have Jerome coming in from Contrition here in just a little bit. But, we're going to swing around to playing the new Sniper song here a little bit later in the show. But now's the good time as any to tell me, if someone walked up to you on the street and said, I've never heard of Bob Lazar, give me a fucking minute rundown of what I need to know. What would be the words you would throw at them, sir?
Well, he would be a guy who I thought was a complete lunatic back in '89 when he came on the news, and he basically spilled the beans, and I was like, I've always been into, paranormal and UFOs and all that kind of stuff. Old books. Mom had some old books on like the Missing Time, the Betty and Barney story. It's like
very, very familiar with that story. Yeah.
Yeah. And on hardback, from back in the 60s or whenever, that it was published. But so I, always into it. But when I heard this, I was like, man, this guy's crazy. This shit's just too out there. It's like sci-fi, like a movie. But now you fast forward, everything he is saying is now true,
coming to fruition. Yeah,
and you now you have people in power in the Pentagon, people who worked in the CIA and the FBI, people on these ships where these Navy pilots are literally seeing these Tic Tacs, quote unquote, every day. It's not a thing where they shot it, back in 2004 off the East Coast. No, this is every day, stuff that's going on. We're only getting shown, what they want to show us, but it's amazing that we are being shown this stuff now and it's amazing how more and more prevalent these sightings are. It's like they're more and more bolder, and they're in broad daylight, more and more witnesses, more and more details. You've got, you know, naval fighter pilots who are shitting their pants because they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So it's very soon, my friend, man. And I'm thankful. Hopefully it's going to be within my lifetime, because this is like a thing you dream of as a kid. You look up at the sky and you wonder, are we alone? You know, and you're told your whole life to go put on a fucking tin hat, because how could there be other life out there? We're the only life, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you guys are fucking retarded, man. Sorry I said that.
No, fuck, we know what you mean.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, it's the other way around, man. You're insane to not think that there's millions of other life forms out there, as big as our galaxy.
It's simply mathematically impossible for it to be otherwise, right?
Exactly. It is impossible. And that's the perfect way, you know?
Right. It's statistically impossible for us to be the only life form in the universe. It just is. Yeah. And Bob Lazar, of course, has been espousing this theory, like you said, all the way back to the 80s, and was called a lunatic and was called a nut job. And, you know, now there's some new documentaries that are out about what he has had to say over the years, and very enlightening stuff.
Yeah. Like how the craft flew, how it kicked up at a 45-degree angle with the Tic Tac video. That's stuff he said, you know, back in 1989. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he had so much detail, you know.
How crazy has the last couple of years been that literally the Pentagon has come forth and said, yeah, we don't know what the fuck these are. These are literal UFOs. And everybody's like, yeah, we knew that. Tell us something we didn't know, bro. You know?
I know. Finally, you're fucking admitting it, you know, instead of lying. And it got to a point where they just look silly, you know, lying about stuff, you know?
Right. At this point, you're admitting the obvious. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, of course, you think now you go back to Roswell, where it all started, or before that in Washington State, but, you know, the big one, Roswell in 1947, you know, you go back to that and you're like, did they really do an alien autopsy now? You know what I mean? How much of that truth is going to come out? You know what I mean? That's really the fascinating shit there, you know, where it's like, you know, how far does this go? You know,
how far?
Kind of,
you know, very interestingly, there was a mini series done years ago by Steven Spielberg called Taken. I don't know if you remember that by any chance. It was a television miniseries event. It had like a whole bunch of people that you would recognize from TV were in it. But there is a theory that he was privy to. He was friends with people in the Pentagon and whatever, and had, you know, he built that Taken series based on real things and things that he had knowledge of. And I encourage you to check it out. Of course, it's fiction, but it follows along a lot of these things that I think Bob Lazar, you know, it literally goes back to, it starts in Roswell. The very first thing in it is the Roswell incident. And it comes all the way to modern day, even with the whole UFO theory and the government's reaction to it. And it's a lot of fun. Well, you know, you and I share a lot of literature that, you know, I believe we've talked Zachariah Sitchin before, right? Eric von Daniken, you know, Chariot of the Gods and all that stuff. You know, that's where my love of all this began years ago. Way before there was an Ancient Aliens TV show, I was really hardcore into this topic, you know? So.
Yeah. What was it, the Stitchkin book, The 12th Planet?
The 12th Planet, yeah, The 12th Planet blew my mind. I still have that book right here in the studio, a purple soft copy of it. And that book blew my mind. And then right after that, I read Chariot of the Gods from Daniken. Yeah. And then I was in. I was hooked. And then another Jim Mars wrote a mandatory book on the topic. I forget honestly the name of it right now, but Jim Mars was a conspiracy theorist who wrote great books on a lot of conspiracy theories, including JFK. The movie JFK was based on his book about that. But I recommend all Jim Mars reading. You know, we just lost him a couple of years ago. Rest in peace, brother. But
yeah, I know that sucked, man.
I was a big Jim Mars guy.
Got a piece of tape up on my rack where years ago I had Ash and Tosin were in a band called Reflux, and of course Tosin Abasi went on to stardom. Ash went on to stardom. He's a director now. He runs Sumerian Records and owns it. And And he said, we were talking about this, what we're talking about right now, and he said, check this book out, and it was The 12th Planet. And it's a life changer, like you said, man.
It
it's
is
a great
a
book.
life changer. Yeah, it'll change the way you look at the whole universe. Literally.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll change the things you read about for a couple of years too, man. That led me down a path of a lot of reading that you and I share in our.
Yeah.
You know,
it opened up so many doors, man. It's incredible.
Sure. Crazy stuff. Yeah. And again, there's now, for those non-readers out there, I know I get a lot of people every week that like to be like, fuck you, I don't want to read shit. Tell me how to watch about it. So there's lots of good documentaries on Bob Lazar at this point. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of a good one is the interview with Joe Rogan, you know, this one-on-one interview with him and the Jeff Corbell guy or whatever, I forgot his name. I might be talking about a different interview, but definitely the Lazar
topic
Rogan interview is really cool, man.
Fuck yeah,
it delves pretty, you know. Yeah
he does.
And it's fun. The other cool thing is other people who were part of that project are coming forward, and they're talking about working with Bob Lazar, you know. And for years the government was trying to say he never even worked there, or he didn't even go to college, or he doesn't even have these credentials, and you know, person after person's coming forward, you know, verifying it, you know what I mean? And even going as far as talking to this one guy about these topics we're talking about. He said, my only regret is that Bob Lazar basically spilled the beans when he did, you know what I mean? He said he should have waited to say that. So it's like, he's right there giving it credibility, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And again, as more and more revelations come forward, you know, we're moving, you know, there's that whole theory out there that we've been prepped for years. We've been slow fed the gray alien look. We've been slow fed the whole thing so that eventually we wouldn't take it as a shock to the culture. And I know a guy that swears that is part of the alien agenda. That's a matter of fact, that's the name of the Jim Marrs book, Alien Agenda. That I couldn't think of a second ago. It was called Alien Agenda. But that is part of it, is that we're slow led to, you know, that's part of their, you know, making us aware of their being here kind of a thing, which is, it's fascinating stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, it would kind of make sense because it was, you know, you wouldn't want to just pop up out of nowhere with no past or no, like putting it in your ear a little bit over the years kind of thing. Like you said, you know, spoon feeding it over the years so it's not so much of a shock. No, even though with everything we've been told and we're seeing in the Pentagon and the news, if it was like Independence Day and one of those fucking 10-mile wide ships just floats over the city, it would be mass hysteria, man.
Oh, for sure.
People would know what to do.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Without any question, man. Well, you know, they're
like, go for a ride. You know what I mean?
The funniest part of Independence Day to me is the newscaster where he's like, we need to remind LA people to stop shooting guns at the fucking UFO. You might start an interstellar war. That'd be real. That's the realest shit ever.
I know, right? Yeah.
We'd have 1,000 Americans down there shooting fucking guns at the goddamn thing.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. Well, you know, if this course sets up, we won't get to it quite yet because we're not quite to the Snipers of Babel song, but there's a reason we're diving into Alien Talk tonight, and it does cover the Sniper song we're going to play later in the show. So,
yeah.
So are you a fan of the Ancient Aliens TV show?
I am, man. I love that stuff.
Me too.
And again, you know, there's shit on that is, you can't explain it. You cannot explain it. How they know about technology that is so far ahead of supposedly at that time. You know what I mean? And it's either, it can't be any one or the other. It's like they have to be shown this by somebody. You know what I mean? Because it took literally thousands of years to even do what some of this stuff that they were shown back then. You know what I mean? And it's fascinating, man. You know, and it goes back thousands of years, man. You know, with everything going on, I think it really does. You know, I don't think this is anything new by any means. You know.
Well, and more so. I mean, literally with every archaeological find, we're backing up the dates of shit. You know, oh, well, that was way before that's supposed to happen. So let's rechange the whole entire, you know, time frame again. You know, but every time we do, it's further and further into the past that we have these technological feats. I mean, there's no other word for it. Technological feats and time frames in which there's no explanation for it, where it's supposed to be impossible. So, you know, at a certain point, you can only bottle the ends with so many answers, you know?
Yeah, man. Yep. You've got all these biblical paintings of a spacecraft up in the right corner, and someone on the ground walking their dog is like pointing up at it, and it's an obvious spaceship. It's like, this is the dark. You know what I mean? This is like going. It's insane. You know.
Madonna's Mother with Child has a spacecraft in the sky of that painting. I mean,
that's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's not an accident. This shit is fucking. You know.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. You know, it predates it. It's right. It's the only thing, in my opinion. And again, I'm just some idiot who plays metal on a stupid TV show. I mean, on a stupid internet show. But it's my opinion that of all the different theories out there, the different religions, the different whatever cult bullshit that people have started and believed in over the years, the only thing that seems to bottle all of the ends is the alien agenda theory. You know, Giorgio with his crazy ass hair on that show is on to something, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's all starting to tie together. You know what I mean? So
yeah, dude. Well, I tell you what. Let's come back and talk more on this topic. Let's play a couple of songs for everybody. In fact, let's get Jerome to come in from Contrition for a minute, and we'll talk to him about this brand new release from these guys, man, which is absolutely ridiculous. Contrition is out of Chicago. This is a debut release from this band, but of course, Jerome's been in several Chicago bands. If you've ever been to Reggie's in Chicago, you probably know Jerome, man. And this Broken Mortal Coil. Yeah, I was going to say, you've been to Reggie's, right?
I haven't, but it was going to be a tour stop at one point because it's a famous place, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We will be there next year, even for the Toast-O-Mania event. We were supposed to be there last year, of course, 2 years ago when COVID happened, but
yeah.
I should have already met Jerome in person, but I'll make sure that happens in the next coming year for sure. So, fuck yeah. Let's talk to him about the brand new Contrition release, Broken Mortal Coil, which is out now. So pick it up, you guys. And don't go anywhere there, because me and Mike are going to keep hanging out and talking UFOs. We got a new Snipers of Babel song to play for everybody. So here's your home for metal.
And now for something completely different.
All right, Metal-O-Maniacs. Well, you know the jams are kicking ass tonight because we got my friends joining me all the way from Chicago tonight to talk about it, man. What's up, Jerome? How are you, sir?
What's going on? Doing well. It's starting to get cold around here in Chicago, so, you know.
Yeah, man.
Driving like shit, and holidays are coming. It all sucks.
Fuck yeah. Hey, I'm ready, man. But yeah, you're getting ready to get buried in the snow over there. That's for sure. But
yeah, never know. Either we're gonna get that, or it's gonna be just bitter below zero, sub-zero, polar vortex hell. You know.
Fuck yeah, man. Walking through icicles and shit. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. That's how we do it.
Shit. That's good shit. Well, many of our followers probably already do know, but for those who don't, if you don't mind, sir, introduce yourself to the Metal-O-Maniacs out there.
What's going on? My name's Jerome Marshall. I'm the lead vocalist of Contrition. I'm also in a handful of other projects. I play in a band called Hate Monger. I'm the vocalist and guitarist of that. I play bass in a band called Yakuza. Play in a hardcore crossover band called What? I'm the backup vocalist and guitarist of that. Play in a lot of bands. I played bass in Cobalt. Toured out in Europe. Toured in the U.S. and Canada. Blah, blah.
No, that's beautiful, man. These are all music to my ears things that you're saying, man. I'm a fan of you, sir. I got to tell you, man.
Yeah.
And dude, that part of the world right there, we've got kind of roots in there. You know, we're tight with the Texas Toast crew over there quite a bit, man. Josh has been on the show a few times, and
yeah, I love that guy.
You know, they're in and out of Reggie's every other day. It seems like so. You guys got to. Yeah, that's a kick-ass scene, man.
It's we're all family, you know.
Fuck yeah, that's good shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
We are all metal family. Well, let's start with this Contrition project, man. I know that you do wear many hats and many different projects at the moment, but this Contrition release is brand new, and I got to tell you, we can't stop listening. Broken Mortal Coil is just ridiculous, sir. Talk to me about it a little.
Yeah, man. Actually, the way it all came about, I was a huge fan of Doomsday and a huge fan of Wolfhammer, and Jeff and John and Gary and I were all sitting around at a bar, and knocking back some whiskey, and he said he had like these leftover riffs, and I was like, man, I loved all that shit, and you know, he's like, fuck it, you want to go ahead and sing on it? And I was like, yeah, man, it's like sick.
You're goddamn right, I do.
Yeah, and, you know, I just got some lyrics together and sat on it and listened to it and really like let it become, you know, a part of me, and then that's what spilled out. And it's pretty vicious, you know, overall. It's just a lot of straight hitting, you know, agonizing, just brutality, which is what we were going for, you know.
Fuck yeah. Brutality is the very, very perfect word, man. It's that perfect blendy, kind of grindy, deathy thing that makes me want to get out of the fucking bed and break things every day, man. That's why we do this shit. We do this shit because it's shit you're doing right there, man. That's what it's all about for me.
Well, yeah, man. Thank you. I mean, I definitely went into a dark place in my mind and soul on that one, but you know, it was good to, it was cathartic, you know, to release it, and you know, I'm glad people can hear it, and you know, it definitely puts you into a different dimension, you know.
Well, yeah, you know, you're touching on something there, man. That's the shared metal experience you're talking about. You know, we get rid of our aggression, we get rid of these dark parts of our brains together through our music, man. This is kind of the soundtrack for that, dude. So yeah, I appreciate that. You're very much my therapist. You have no idea, you know, but don't send me a bill or anything. You know, but
I do it a lot. I do it a lot, especially being a bartender and you know.
Yeah, even more so than shit.
Oh yeah, man. It's you know, I'm just not licensed, you know, for that. I'm not the one who sends the bill. I just ask for a tip, maybe, you know, buy some of the merch and shit.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. We'll have an extended conversation over a joint on it someday or something, hopefully. You know,
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Anytime.
That's a good plan. That's a good. Well, you know, the world being what it is right now, man, how does it feel? This came out, of course, 2 days before Halloween, so perfect timing, if you don't mind my saying. You know, perfect timing. It made for a crisp Halloween for me, sir. But the world being what it is, where we're kind of every other day, it seems like we're talking about opening things, we're talking about closing things, we're talking about opening things, we're talking about closing things. Where are you guys, especially if you got ends with Reggie's? Are you able to put this on the stage there? Are you able to? Where are you on that process?
Yeah, I mean, that process, I'm sure it'll come when it does. Everybody's currently in a million bands, and
right, no shit.
Evan, we've actually, I mean, this is like mainly a studio project currently. You know?
Awesome, yeah. Nothing.
Jeff is currently, I mean, he's a Chicagoan, but you know, he's currently back and forth between Indianapolis and here, and everybody's there and everywhere, and tours are about to come up for other bands. So, I mean, I hope at some point we can get this on stage and do it sooner than later, of course, you know.
Right. Fuck yeah, man.
Definitely into sooner than later.
Would it be fair to say that this is the kind of the result then of the you know, stay indoors COVID situation? Would it, you know, did it come about as the result of that? Tell me about its inception.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. I mean, the very inception of it was just being at that bar and like, you know, us having this amount of time.
Right.
We do that a lot. Sit around, we talk shit a lot at bars, and sometimes, you know, we come up with good ideas, and this was definitely one of Jeff's best ideas, if you ask me. I mean, we were all automatically on board with it. We've been talking about playing in bands together for a while, and it's just like, well, we can bring this to fruition real fast. And, you know, it was just something that Jeff wanted to have done, and, you know, he just got a whole bunch of prime players to get it together and get it done.
Fuck yeah, man. So you were all like simmering in a pot together then, you know, and this is kind of the result then, right?
Yeah, you know, between all the projects that we do, it's like, man, it'd be cool to like do something with you guys, and it's like, well, let's just fucking do it, and then we just did it.
Fuck yeah, man. That you did, sir. And it's fun, if you don't mind my saying, it's a half hour of well, as you said, it's brutality, man. Was it all guns blazing right from the beginning? Like, let's just destroy shit?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what the tracks were gonna be. You know, like when I put them all together, I had no idea what the order was gonna be. But then we started like figuring that out, and then it came together. And Jeff did a really good job of just tying it all together. You know, and you know, with all the ominous, like, you know, weird background parts and all that shit. So yeah, I mean, like when I heard the finished product, I was just like, fuck yeah,
fuck
like,
yeah.
Just a constant flow. You know?
Constant flow. Man, it comes right from diluted all the way throughout. It comes at you, man. I mean,
yeah,
this release is coming for that ass.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you heard that, sir.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No mercy, man. I love the approach.
That's definitely the way I felt about it once I started. Once I started doing the vocals, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to be like Hate Monger. I definitely wanted to distinguish that vocal delivery from the vocal delivery that I give in Contrition. There's like a lot more range,
Right. Funny you should say that. Yeah. Exactly the case, man. Exactly the case. Talk to me about the status of Hate Monger right now. What is the status of that project at the moment? Where are you?
Hate Monger's currently, we did our last show of the year with Cloak and Demiser in Chicago. That was good. And right now we're currently writing the next piece. I believe it'll be an EP. Don't have a name for it just yet, but that'll be coming up pretty shortly.
Oh, fuck yeah,
and then
man.
We're gonna be going out on tour in March, I believe, with Wraith.
Oh.
More to be said about that, as but currently it's all coming together.
Fuck
We're just trying to get out there and get on the road. It's been a while. It's been a while for me since I've been on the road.
Too long, man. Too long. We got to get out here and start knocking the dust off of shit.
Yeah, man. It's great to see all my favorite bands out there right now doing it.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited about that show then, man, because I'm a big fan of that Wraith release too. We've been listening to that a lot. That's a kick-ass release on the year too, man.
Oh yeah, man. Those guys are rad.
Fuck yeah, good stuff.
And then currently our guitarist John is out playing bass with Abigail Williams with Swallow the Sun currently. So
fuck yeah, right on.
Like waiting for him to come back. It's gonna kind of be this rotation of like, once we all start touring again, it's gonna be like one guy's gonna be out on this tour and the other guy's gonna be out on this other tour, and then at some point in time we all have to meet up on our own tour.
Right. Well, I have two things to say to that. One, it's a sign of the times. That's certainly a sign of the times these days. But two, thank God to have those problems back, man. Fuck, I'll take that over being stuck inside. Right.
It's a great problem to have.
Fuck
it's just definitely like we were saying during the pandemic, like it was all guns blazing with like all projects, everything that I'm involved in is having, we've recorded a lot, so
yeah,
it's all good. It's good energy. It's going to be good to get out on the, on the road again.
Fuck yeah. Well, that pent up rage has manifested itself in these releases that are really starting to hit right now. I think it's a prime time that the result of the pandemic, kind of that turmoil inside, the rage that it created, the music that it created, we're really starting to get that barrage of it right now. We're really starting to enjoy that. And I think as we go forward, hopefully as we start to do, hit these stages and shit, man, it's kind of an exciting time in my opinion, bro. I love it. I'm excited. What should we play tonight? We're going to play a song off of Broken Mortal Coil. What song do you suggest we play for everybody tonight?
I would play For Misery.
Oh man, a good one. A good one. All right. For Misery. Tell me about this jam, sir.
This jam is it's a hard one, man. It goes hard from start to finish. It's definitely the one that kicks you square in the nuts. But it also features our boy Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder on backup vocals at the bridge, which is awesome. Thank you, Trevor.
Shout out to Trevor.
Yeah, man, it's definitely one of my favorite vocalists, and for him to offer his vocals on that track was truly, and I think him dear. So
yeah, and Verminous was one of the best releases of the year last year, man. I fucking still listen to it every single day, just about. So
oh yeah, hot riffs, bro.
Fucking silly good. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, but that was definitely one of the songs that Jeff had wrote that I heard like from the get go, and I was like, oh, I got something for you on this one. Just starts off immediately, just like
awesome,
going right for it, right for the jugular.
My approach. That's my favorite approach in the world, my friend. Fuck yeah, that's good shit. Well, dude, when the next projects are starting to come to fruition and the release dates start coming out, will you come back and hang out with us and talk to us about it a little?
Absolutely. I can't wait to meet you guys in person. Maybe sometime we can have an interview in person. maybe sometime we get you guys out to a show. You just let me know.
Well,
You guys
yeah.
are all my book.
I will hold you to that, my friend.
Out and shooting the shit with me. We gotta get some drinks sometime.
Fuck yeah. Well, at Maryland Death Fest, we'll be running around with cameras and shit, man. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely hold you to that. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get down for sure.
We'll talk before that for sure. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, shit. Well, after everybody hears, especially after everybody hears For Misery, their very first question for all those Metal-O-Maniacs out there is going to be, how the fuck do I get my hands on Broken Mortal Coil? So how do they do that, sir?
Well, you can get your digital copies all on band, through Bandcamp, iTunes, it's on Disorder Recordings. You can get that, but definitely you can through Bandcamp for sure. All the links are there. And
you guys got merch and T-shirts and stuff out for the backup, or?
We do. We do. We do T-shirts. We've got LPs and CDs and posters and stickers.
Fuck yeah. Support badassery, ladies and gentlemen. That's good shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Just hit up our Bandcamp.
Well, Skully and I will be ordering some T-shirts later and a vinyl sticker for the Metal-O-Mania truck, my friend, because we are fans of what you guys are doing big time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You guys kick ass. Keep that metal alive. Keep on spreading the word and rock the fuck on.
You heard what he said, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Let's kick him in the ass.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Hey, thank you so much for your time, man. It really means the world to us.
Absolutely. Anytime. Feel free to hit me up when the next shit drops. I'll feel free to just hit me up and I'll come back on here and do it again, man. This was awesome.
Hey, I'm gonna hold you to it, man. For sure.
Sure, I got you guys. Thank you. What's up, Metal Maniacs? This is Jerome from Contrition, and you are watching Metal-O-Mania with Skully and The Crypts.
Fool
seen them things, they were in a world of pain. But you know what the freakiest part was?
What's that?
They fucking loved it.
I can't do that.
All this can be yours if you bow down and worship me.
I've got a secret. I worship the devil.
So, that was my spot. I must have taken hundreds of guys there. What can I say? I was a Titanic whore.
I'd like to see if I can make a difference in this individual's life and turn the community around one whore at a time.
Well, how awesome is Jerome, man? Dude, I love that dude. That's metal family to me now.
Yep, that's awesome sandwich, man.
Awesome fucking sandwich, brother. Yeah, dude. Jerome, I love you, sir. We will talk again. I appreciate you coming on. And again, that release is Broken Mortal Coil from Contrition. You're going to want to support it and show it some love by picking it up. Pick it up. And I believe they got merch coming soon with T-shirts. You better believe I'll have me a T-shirt that says Contrition on it soon, as I will in Oblivion Studios, as I will, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Those shirts sold out, man. I was like, what?
Quick,
and
baby.
I got like 25 or 26 already sold.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of stuff going out in the mail, man.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll be sporting on the show, and I don't want to overlook. We're going to talk some more alien stuff here, but I don't want to overlook that behind talking to Jerome and playing the Contrition song, we played a song from the new Hypocrisy, Swedish fucking badass death metal. I love that band, as everybody out there knows. I've been waiting for this release. Worship is just ridiculous. A contender for album of the year, in my opinion, for sure. And behind that was Dormant Ordeal out of Poland. Polish death metal, Mike. Badass, right?
Yeah, I love hearing shit from other countries, man. It's so awesome.
Fuck yeah, man. And dude, that's their third full-length release already, man. The Grand Scheme of Things is the name of that. That's their third length release, and show them the love. That is actually out already too. So yeah, pick it up.
Yep. And it's because of shows like this that people hear about these bands, like you said, it's the third album, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people never heard of them, so now's the time to get it and support, you know what I mean? It's cool. You might find someone that you like, that a whole lot, might be your favorite band. You never know. Dude,
there's literally no cooler compliment on the world than that to me, man. For literally the reason the show exists is to hopefully do that. We want to connect you to the bands that you may just find to be some of your best and favorite bands in the world, man. And that's what it's all about. I just can't stomach the idea. Right. I can't stomach the idea of people not knowing about Snipers of Babel or fucking Infected Chaos and, you know what I mean? Shit like that. I can't have it. I can't have it on my conscience.
Yeah. And you're not going to hear us on the radio here, on FM.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. You and I live local. Our supposed rock station is DC 101. Dude, I'm still on their email list. I get an email from them twice a day about Billie Eilish. What the fuck does Billie Eilish have to do with rock and roll or any of that shit? Am I missing something here?
Yeah, it's a pop station now.
It really is, man. What a joke. That's why you got to come to Metal-O-Mania.
Yep.
Hey.
It sucks, they ratings and all that stuff, I know people who work there who are not into that music at all, you know what I mean? But they got to do it. That's part of the, back in the day you had like different disc jockeys when it was their show. They could play, mostly what they wanted to play. You know what I mean?
If they liked it, they could get it on air, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like it's everything is so like you don't even need a disc jockey anymore.
Yeah, everything's corporate now. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
just like anything else, man. The more you corporatize, the more it turns to shit. Plastic recycled shit.
Sucks, man. 'Cause a lot of labels are getting bought out by bigger labels. Even like music companies like who make instruments like Sweetwater. I heard they got bought out, so I'm interested to see where that goes. I heard Roadrunner got bought out a while ago.
I've heard negative things on that so far, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I reserve judgment for now, but
yeah,
crazy. That's why we need Oblivion Studios, man. I'll keep coming to you.
And it'll remain as old school as it ever was.
Fuck yeah, brother. That's something I love about it. And unfortunately, so will I'm told. So what the fuck? I've searched for everything. I've read everything about Ponce de Leon, and the Fountain of Youth yet eludes me, sir. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about let's get back a little bit into the alien stuff, if you don't mind, man. I'm a big fan of this topic. I know you're a big fan of this topic. Have you ever by any chance gotten a chance to do you remember Whitley Strieber's book Communion that was later made into a Christopher Walken movie and all that by any chance?
Oh, the movie was insane, man.
Yeah,
great
Christopher
movie.
Walken knocked it out of the park, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, he was perfect for that role, Yeah.
See, that was
creepy.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it kind of gave you. It's not like a lot of people say they're here, in peace. They're here not to really disturb us. That's why you don't really remember abductions and all this and that and everything. But the fact of the matter remains that, you know, they're doing stuff that we're not consenting to, you know, and with that book, especially the book, reading it, and the movie was great too, you know, but Communion, man, you know, just from the cover, picking that book up, you know, when I first saw it, you know, I just like, I had to have it. I had to read this, you know, and it's a really good book, man. Great story.
Fantastic book.
But it's terrifying at times, you know what I mean?
Terrifying, yeah. Well, you know, and Whitley Strieber's a great writer. A funny thing about that had such an impact on me, honestly, that story in that book, because I was a fan pre-Communion. You know, Whitley Strieber had written some of the continuations of the Exorcist stories. Some people may or may not know.
Yeah.
He was, you know, he had written Legions, which is, I think, one of the best stories ever written on the exorcism topic was Legions, and I highly recommend it still. I'm sorry?
Which one was that, the
Legions?
third one?
I believe it was, they ended up making the third one based on Legions. Yeah, which I still say is the best Exorcist movie, by the way, is Legions, but I mean, it's the third one.
Yeah.
George C. Scott, you know, go check out our horror movie special, gang.
Yeah, man, great movie.
Fucking great movie. The best one, in my opinion, even better than the first one. I'll swear by that till I die. But
the lady crawling on the ceiling.
Right, yeah, that was so good. That was a great scene. You know, and Brad Dourif, man, and you know, Brad Dourif's an underappreciated horror actor too. So he's in the new Chucky TV show. He's in the new. He's involved with the Chucky TV. Yeah, I believe he's like executive producer to that whole thing and all that. So
that's awesome. Being a part of it like that, that's so cool.
Yeah, very
great,
cool, man.
great. I love his stuff that he's done.
Me
too,
he's
man. Always
man.
had that weird roles, but they're perfect. He played them perfect. You know?
Well, he does horror great, but I also loved him in Deadwood. I was a huge fan of the Deadwood show when it was on HBO, man, and Brad Dourif was great on that too. So, good stuff. Well, good stuff.
He goes back far, man.
Oh
like,
yeah.
2001: Space Odyssey or something.
Oh, I'm not. I know he's in the original Child's Play, so then that's the 80s, right? That's just so.
Yeah, that's his spirit or whatever.
Right. And some of he's in a couple of X-Files episodes that are my favorite X-Files episodes to this day. So there you go.
Yeah.
Another big crossover. X-Files being, of course, a show you can't help but love if you're alien freaks like you and I are. So did you fall into the X-Files love? Did you go down that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Loved it. I fell into it kind of late, though. I was here.
We did too.
Yeah, I was recording a band called Hatred years ago. And like Dave went on to play in Deceased, you know, on drums. Rest in peace. But one of their girlfriends was like in the studio, you know, looking at the stuff, and she was like, "Yo, do you watch the X-Files?" And I was like, "I haven't seen it yet." And she was like, "Oh, you got to catch it. It's amazing." So I ended up getting like this box set on videotape or whatever, you know. That's how long ago it was, and I started watching them and stuff, and got sucked in, man. I loved it. You know?
Oh, so good, dude. We have a similar thing. It was no longer on the air. I had completely missed it when it was on the air. I knew it existed, of course, but I just never watched it.
Yeah.
That was on TV on like Friday nights when I was back getting fucked up all the time on the weekends, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's on a weird time.
Right. But me and Skully, when we were early in our relationship, we both got the flu really, really bad, like one year, really bad. We were laid up. We had made the living room into like a campground site, and we just laid in there for an entire week and a half, recovering.
Oh, man.
And we watched the X-Files. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've called her Skully ever since then, as a matter of fact. I started calling her Skully way back then.
That's awesome. Right on. Yeah.
So we definitely tie into the X-Files, which ties into what we're talking about tonight, of course, being the alien thing, which the song is going to be about tonight, right? The song we're going to play is called Elements, right? It's about the Bob Lazar story.
Yeah, it's about what he said back then, and it's about what has transpired since then, all in one song. You know, it's got some samples, you know, from the news and from an interview with Bob Lazar in the end, the outro, and the song's called Element, short for Element 115, which was supposedly the fuel source for these, what do they call them now? Unidentified, not flying objects anymore. It's unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's supposedly the fuel source for it, and Lazar kind of slip of tongue said he had possibly some of the element 115, which was basically like a triangular piece of metal that fueled these crafts, and he got raided the very next day by the FBI. So since then on, he thinks he's being basically bugged. You know, all his conversations are recorded, because when he said this, it was like, it was away from everybody, you know what I mean? And for the FBI to come in and have like a warrant to come in, and it was a bogus warrant about somebody that had hired him, contracted him to do some nuclear work or whatever, what Bob Lazar has been doing since then. You know, he was it kind of went on and just, you know, opened up his own business, you know, dealing with nuclear physics and stuff like that, and became very low key, never really wanted to get attention or anything like that, you know, and now people are coming out of the woodwork who are ex-CIA, FBI agents, you know, people working in the government and the Pentagon in these programs who verify, you know, Lazar worked there, and he did, you know, they verified he did go to college there, and I worked with him, and he did work on these crafts, you know, and it's just it's amazing, you know. I'm still kind of in shock already that, you know, the Pentagon and the government it's finally admitting this, you know what I mean? It made people go insane thinking they're crazy for saying that they saw something or you know, witnessed it or you know, got abducted, or who knows, you know what I mean? So it's like a saving grace finally, you know, for all these people who have been denied, you know, the reality of what's really been going on all these years. You know, it's become, you know, kind of a joke, you know, but finally it's getting the recognition it deserves, you know.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, and for far too late for so many people that went to their graves swearing in protest about their experiences, you know what I mean? Like
so sad, man, you know, that God that put so many years of work, written so many books, you know, and came so close. And to not even to see, like, get the satisfaction of finally, you know, the Tic Tac videos that are so popular now, you know, they weren't even out yet, you know what I mean? And it sucks that they couldn't see that, you know.
Right, and there's so many of those even with various things, and you know, what was it? The Travis Walton story, wasn't that the guy? Yeah, that
Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky turned into quite a documentary story. I read that book actually about that whole incident, which was fascinating. And you know, that the stuff that poor guy went through just to get somebody to fucking believe him, you know. I mean,
I know. Yeah, he got 7 guys or whatever it was, all passed the lie detector test. They all had the same exact story. He was gone for days, you know,
with no trace.
And it fucked his life up, man. And he didn't want any of this stuff, you know what I mean? And to this day, they all swear by it, you know, and I believe it 100%, man.
Me too. Me too.
It's you know, it's too many witnesses.
I've
like
seen
that, you know,
talks with him, man. He's either the best actor in the world, in which case he'd be in movies making millions of dollars, or he's the most sincere guy I've ever seen talk on the subject. Honestly, I mean, crazy, man. I don't know how you watch that and call this guy a liar. It's pretty insane, but crazy stuff. You know, if you trace it back, there's a clear kind of a timeline, you know, where it's definitely all of these people that have what they all have in common, whether it's Whitley Strieber, Bob Lazar, whether it's Travis Walton, whether it's the Betty, and you know, that story, they all have the same thing where the government very proactively tried to say, no, fuck you, you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, how about you bring up the Betty Barney thing, you know, missing time?
Yeah, that's a bizarre banana story too. Yeah.
Yeah. And she had a vision that supposedly she was shown a map of where they were in our solar system, and it was like Zeta Reticuli or whatever. And it was a system that we haven't even seen at the time. I think it wasn't until we got the Hubble telescope or something where we were able to see it. So it's impossible for her to know this and to draw a diagram that is like pinpoint accurate to the actual real, you know, how it sits in our galaxy, it's perfect. You know what I mean? And so that right there, it's just so credible, you know.
Dude.
Under hypnosis, you know, the stories they have were amazing, man.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a tough one to well, that's the problem with so many of these things. There are blatant, hard to swallow facts. I mean, like you say, how would she have known about that? How would, you know, before it being discovered and in great detail, as you said. These things can't be, you know, explained any other way that I can think of without some kind of, I guess, a key to the brain. I have a buddy who has this theory, and I'd like to throw this at you. A buddy of mine believes that all of it is actually a manufactured part of our consciousness, a shared consciousness. It's the result of some kind of weird paranormal still, but not so much alien as it is a creation of our own subconscious that we've grown to share.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Crazy to speculate. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of that. I don't buy into it, but I have heard that theory before. I mean, there's so many crazy theories.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's like, you know, and then you start thinking of parallel universe, and it gets, goddamn, it's like how many like dimensions are we in? People are saying, you know, it's like fourth dimension or something that we can't see, but they're there, and it gets really crazy, man. It really does,
brother. Know? Yeah. Then drop a couple of drops of fucking quantum physics into the conversation, and then just watch your head scramble.
Yeah, you know, and you know, folding black hole theory, you know, where oh, this is a really interesting thing where this jet is chasing a craft, and the pilot said, and it's at night, so it's pitch black. And the pilot said that the sky in front of the UFO, of this triangular craft or whatever, the sky opened up into a bright sunshine place.
Existence,
and
right.
The UFO went in this and disappeared. So it's like, what the fuck, man? Is it like they're hopping dimensions, you know? And it's, you know, Einstein was talking about it, and other people had talked about it. In this theory,
right?
Yeah, Hawking, you know, folding like a piece of paper. You know, you put a hole on each end of it, and you fold it over, and that's how they travel. They that somehow. And
the wormhole theory, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know?
Crazy stuff, man. And it does get into where it starts to melt your brain, and you start to wonder how much of it as a human being we're not even supposed to know, I guess. But God damn it, I want to know it all. I want to know it all.
And you think like. There's got to be life, like thousands and thousands and thousands of different life forms in different states of evolution, and they've got to have them where they're, you know, 1 million years advanced than we are. So all this crazy shit to us is nothing to them. You know, this is like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like they say, throw a caveman a cell phone and see what he does. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Kind of like that kind of thing, you know? So, and there's got to be thousands of more advanced civilizations than ours. You know what I mean? We're not like the top of the food chain by any means, man. Wow. And honestly, how these craft are operating and the tech has to be behind it, like a mile wide platform just floating in midair, not making a noise, and then shooting up, you know, 30,000 miles an hour. You know what I mean? And it's like not of this world, man. It's just, it's crazy, you know, just the things that it's able to do that, fuck, man, I don't think they're here for any like ill will per se. You know, they might have their experiments or whatever, you know, however far you want to look into that. But if they wanted us, they could have taken this fucking years ago. You know what I mean? So honestly, and I'm hoping it's for more of a positive thing, you know, maybe they're stepping in because there's been, you know, all of our nuclear sites over the years, you know, there's been strange things happening there, sightings. They're actually turning off our nuclear devices, which is like, what the fuck moment, you know, like, how can you do that? You know, almost like they're telling, you know, our future, and they're saying, hey man, stop fucking around with this stuff. You know what I mean?
Idiots.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to each other up, and what do we got left, you know?
Right. There's a famous meme even that goes around about like the aliens are up in space looking at them and like, yeah, they're no threat. They can't take their guns off each other, you know? So.
Right. Yeah, you know?
which is more true. Well, and that actually ties back in a little bit with Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar famously feels, when pressed on the question of why there hasn't been direct contact, his answer has very consistently been not hostility by the way of aliens, but the hostility by way of us. We are violent, we are predatory, we are jealous, we are, you know, hard to trust.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's very true. And the other side, you know, like going back to like the different, how many different worlds are out there that are more advanced than us, and like Lazar was saying, you know, there wasn't just one spaceship, there were like a dozen or more, and they were all like different, just like our cars are, you know what I mean? We have one man, one seater kind of deals up to like a huge one, you know what I mean? So
so we could be looking at multiple kinds, right?
Yeah, and you're probably looking at multiple, you know, different types of races also, you know what I mean? If it all comes down to it, you know, and some are here for not as good reasons as others, you know, and for all we know, there's some kind of interstellar war going on between them, you know, and that we are clueless to. Who knows? You know,
we could end up being some weird universal fucking Afghanistan pocket for some kind of bigger war going on. You know what I mean? We're a little mini battle somewhere. There you go.
Yeah, I know, man. We're not shit compared to, I think, what's going on out there, man. You know, on a bigger scale. You know.
Sure. Well, I pose it to you this way: think about this. In the last 50 years, human advancement on a technological level is literally, it's unmatched. Now, again, that ties into our thing. There are a lot of people who believe that ties directly to our discovery of aliens and alien technology, and there's certainly a case to be made for that. But let's set that aside for the moment and just accept the fact that we've made such a huge jump in 50 years. Now let's presuppose an alien existence out there, an alien race out there that predates us by 1 billion years. What could they have fucking done by now? I mean, they can harness the power of the cosmos, for fuck's sakes. I mean,
yeah, exactly, because they're like advanced and for so many years, and then as the years go by, they're going to continue to advance. You know, I mean, there's like no way we're going to catch up by any means. But
no way, right?
And like Lazar was given things that basically they were putting away for 10 years in a drawer. You know, kind of, you know, as an example, and 10 years later, they'll open it up and look at what they got to try to see if they can figure it out yet. You know what I mean? They still couldn't. They had no technology to scratch the surface of how some of this stuff worked, you know?
Right.
I think he came in and replaced a guy who had actually died, you know, trying to plasma cut the sphere or something like that, and it killed him. So Lazar came in after this dude, you know, and he was like, well, I tell you what I'm not going to do.
Yeah, right.
I mean? So, yeah.
That plan didn't work, but yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Dude. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to contemplate, because I'm a believer. I'm not going to lie to anybody out there. We've talked about it before on the show. I believe that there's something to the Roswell incident. I don't believe it's made up. I have several friends that believe all of the things that we're seeing are and calling aliens are actually government technology that's we can't understand yet, which I believe is possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but even if that is the case, it seems to make a stronger case for some type of alien technology crossover there. It seems to make a case for we discovered something and learned from it. You know what I mean? People were here for a long, long time without making the advancements in technology that we've made in the last 50 years. So there's some kind of reason for it. Right.
Yeah, if you put it on like a scale, like a model of the advancements over, like going back to the Stone Age, you know, this 50 years, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Like a 1,000-year jump compared to the rest of evolution. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or more so even. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. In evolutionary terms, if you were to look at it in that way, which I feel like you can, being that we're evolving our technology right before our eyes, but in those terms, it's impossible what we've done. Literally impossible.
It is.
So, yeah, it's been a huge step in a moment, in just a moment. So
yeah,
crazy to contemplate.
and it's like, again, it's like we probably, you know, the whole, you know, demand, you know, taking, you know, their things and trying to figure out and getting our own advancements out of it. We haven't even scratched the surface as to the technology. We're just like getting, I think, just the little bits and pieces that are kind of falling off the wayside. You know, there's no way we could even like fathom, you know, the shit that's going on, you know?
Yeah, no way.
Just seeing how, like, take this Tic Tac, for instance, you know, it's flying into a headwind of like 120 knots or whatever they're talking about it. And it's still, you know, doing these things that it dropped out of the sky at like 80 G's or something, like they were saying, and it hit the water and without hardly making a splash. Now these things are like swimming around the water, man. You know what I mean? And which we've had thousands of sightings over the years of it coming out of the water, but now, so, you know, you have like the naval sightings where they actually have the night vision of a craft coming out of the water.
Right.
And then you have the Nimitz video with the Tic Tac. The first guy went out there with his co-pilot went out there to document everything. They both saw whitewater, and they said they saw a craft like come out of the water, you know, and that's what caught their eye. And then they followed it basically, and then this thing started mimicking them. So it's got like you know, it's the advanced technology it has is just like, it's insane, man. You know,
that ties along with it. I've seen theories where they're here and they're underwater here now already. You know, I have seen on Ancient Aliens, honestly, where they talk about right now on Earth, underwater has more mysteries than the immediate space around us does. You know, we know much more about the space around us than we do about what's under our own waters, our oceans.
Yeah. I mean, you have like the Marianas Trench, which is like, what, 3 miles deep? That's insane, man.
Insane.
You know, nuclear subs can only see certain areas of that. You know, there's so much stuff under there. It would be perfect. It would be perfect, you know?
Yeah. It's the perfect hiding place. Look, my cat just jumped in my lap here. Well,
and also the other thing, like someone needs to explain this to me, is like, how the fuck are we only seeing one side of the moon? You know what I mean? It's like, it's I don't know. I think I saw it on TV how we never see the dark side of the moon, and supposedly that's where all the crazy shit's going on.
Well, yeah. Jim Marr's book, Alien Agenda, talks a lot about that. You know, the false moon. There's an entire segment to the case that the moon is a satellite, you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And it's hollow.
Yep. Hollow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen NASA people talk about where things have fallen to the surface of the moon and rang like a bell. It rings like a bell, as you know. Yeah. So what's that about?
Yeah, I've heard that thing too. Yep.
That's pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting.
Yes, so.
Well, you know, we need to get a little bit of the element so we can fly up there ourselves, man. Tell me more about it. Let's play an element for everybody. So tell me more about this jam in particular.
Well, supposedly this fuel cell that again, it's like this triangular piece of metal or whatever. It could, the energy that it can harness could power a whole entire city. You know what I mean? So I think the one thing that Lazar was trying to really convey was, hey, you know, we need this technology for us, you know, for energy and to help us and not repress this and say, you know, we're kooks and none of this, you know, exists and all this and that and everything. And that's what I think he was trying to convey a lot was, you know, this technology can really turn around and really help us for the good, you know.
Let's not Tesla it.
Yeah, you know.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. What we could accomplish, man, you know. Think about if you remove the strife for the pursuit of power, the pursuit of, you know, I don't mean power like human power. I mean like power, keeping the lights on and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it could be supplied without our plummeting the earth, without our, you know, fucking up the ozone layer, without all that, I mean, you know, these are literally the things he's talking about. I mean,
right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. Well, then let's open up our metal sandwich then with some element from Snipers of Babel, from my buddy Mike and his band, Snipers of Babel, man. I'm excited to play this jam for everybody. And then we're going to follow that up with a little Demon Stealer for everybody, you guys. We're going to play some Demon Stealer, which is out of India, as a matter of fact. There's a lot of badass bands coming. I got Godless coming on the show out of India soon. So India's got a badass scene going on, man.
Too, man. Yep.
Good stuff. We're going to play the Holocene Termination, which is also the title track from their brand new EP. And then behind that, we're going to play our old school jam of the week, which is Necrophagia. I opened up my Metalhead box last week on the show, and I had a button. They had sent me a button from Killjoy Lives from Necrophagia. So, of course, that set us up to play an old school jam from those cats this week. And we're going to play Cannibal Holocaust for everybody for you. Good-ass jam. And then behind that, we're going to play some Strangulatorious. Strangulatorious. I love the band name. They are out of Lithuania. They were really thrashy earlier. They're really grindy, deathy later now, and I love it. The new order is called the new release is called Doctor's Orders Do Not Touch, and we're going to play Hand of Death from it. And don't go anywhere, though. We still got Mike hanging out with us a little bit longer, and the show's not over yet. A little more jams for you, too, so keep hanging out.
Be in the house.
Keep hanging out. Bossier and the Crypt bringing you the metal.
Yep.
You're listening to Metal-O-Mania with the Crypt and Snipers of Babel.
Stuff that can't be made with known technology. Lazar made similar claims decades ago and was ridiculed. Now the Pentagon is on the same page.
Reverse engineered. The future is here. Rocket blast coming live. The eyes open wide, surveilling us.
said it really has been secretly studying UFOs, and then it wanted to figure out and duplicate that technology.
And it can be weaponized.
Manipulate the masses. Contamination's mouths are shut. Division of the masses. Irreparable damage done. Ravenous masters. Pulverized society. Creating disasters. Multiply in spite of peace. Multiply in spite of peace. When it talks larger. Lost to it the light. Continue the light. Unseen to the eye. The element's design. Guilty of crimes. Doing the time. There's always a price. The element's design. Somewhere divine. Release from your mind. Always sunrise. The element's design. Power obtained. Until the grave. The end of our time. The element's design.
They knew there was a fuel source in it, and they were proficient at making it work. And I think that's exactly the state we were at. We played around with the parts long enough before I got there where they could make the reactor operate, take the fuel out, and know that it makes it work. How exactly what was going on in the reactor remains a mystery at the time. But I don't think anybody really knew anything. They could just watch what was going on and make note of it.
First, aliens exist. Deal with it.
I'm not an alien. I'm discontent.
No fucking way. I'm gonna speak straight to you. Fuck you really hard right up the ass.
Burn
Destiny always has a way of bringing things full circle.
Destiny. Stupid word for coincidence.
Oh, man. So I've been a dork for 30 years. Some cheer, but others of you are like, you're older than 30, bro. I know, I'm 38, but I don't count the first 8. Because you never look at a little kid or a baby and go, what a fucking nerd. That baby will never get laid. You just saw your last vagina, baby. Hope you liked it. It's gonna be a while. I'm a different kind of dork. I know there's metal fans here. I'm a total metal dork. Oh, Jesus. Is Deicide over there? What the fuck? That was frightening. More demons over there. Oh, no. But I'm a huge metal dork, and I actually wrote for my school newspaper when I was a kid, because what else was I going to do? And I got to interview bands, and the thing I realized about interviewing metal bands when I was 15 is I'm the last guy they want as their #1 fan. You know what I mean? They work their asses off learning their instruments and, you know, sweating it out in the garage, and they're doing it for, how do you say it, pussy? And then I'm backstage going, you guys rule so hard. They're like, I quit.
Well, I'll be fucked.
I'm so sorry, Chris. I forgot it was Wednesday.
The mere fact that the Blair Witch Project was a complete and utter ripoff of the storyline of a film called Cannibal Holocaust, which, in terms of action, gore, feeling satisfied after you watched a film, it destroys the Blair Witch Project hands down. That's a first-round knockout.
everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat shit.
So I actually got to interview the band Wasp when I was a kid. Remember that? Fuck like a beast, yeah. They suck. They were awful, but I was 15 and I thought they were fucking awesome. And I went to see them in Berkeley, and this is totally true. I meet the guitar player, Chris Holmes, and he was this giant asshole. And I meet him and I go, hey, can I have your autograph? And this is totally true. He looks at me and goes, grow some tits. And I was crushed. But then I'm like, that's the only thing stopping me from being a hot lady? Is a set of tits? I'm sure if I had a sweet fucking rack, he'd be more creeped out. I'd be like, he's really not attractive in person. Oh my God, he has huge fucking tits. I'm gonna set my eyes on fire and bury them. So now, I've been smoking pot for 20 years, so now I kind of have tits. So I'm thinking of hunting down Wasp on the reunion tour and get him to sign Lefty. I did what you said, mister. Sign my sweet old pot tit. Don't poke it too hard, resin will come out.
Waving the flag with one hand and picking pockets with the other. That's your patriotism.
Looks like the upper hand is on the other foot.
And that's how you do a metal sandwich when you hang out with us here at Metal-O-Mania, man. And we open that badass jam session with our buddy Snipers of Babel, buddy Mike Bossier from Snipers of Babel. Awesome jam, sir.
Thank you.
A fan of you, my friend. A fan of you.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that was a fun song, man. It's been around for like 2.5, 3 years, and finally, you know, getting through the songs and getting them done and getting it out there, I was like, shit, man, this whole alien disclosure is going to come true before the song's even out. You know what I mean? So,
right. It's going to end up being our greeting song to the motherfuckers as they're saying hello and shit.
Yeah, you know.
That's good shit, brother. That's good shit, man. Well, I fucking continue to watch all of the Ancient Alien stuff. I'm jealous of Giorgio. That dude figured it out, man. Apparently he takes like playmates all over the world to like Machu Picchu and shit like that on these trips. And, you know,
that dude's a rock star.
That dude's a rock star. He's a legit rock star now, man.
So funny, man. His get-ups, you know, it's hilarious.
Well, yeah. Hey, and more power to him, my friend. More power to him.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's hilarious. As long as Skully doesn't leave me for him one day, we'll be all right. So I think Skully likes his hair. So
I think that's what it is, man. His hair looks like a UFO.
Yeah, man. That's an unidentified hair object going on over there.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the tan, is that like a real legit tan, or is that spray on?
Yeah,
Sometimes,
right. I've heard arguments because he's awful orange.
Yeah, sometimes it's really dark. Yeah.
Hey, maybe he's a fucking alien. Maybe he's an orange species of alien, and he's here to tell us all eventually how it is.
Hybrid, probably. That's probably what they really look like.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, what are your thoughts on that thing? You know, the whole serpent agenda, you know, the fact, like David Icke, right? Isn't it David Icke who espouses the big aliens are here, they're also serpent people, they're also reptilian in nature. Yeah. George Bush's family is a bunch of reptiles, and shit, Testament did a record about it. The Brotherhood of the Snake is kind of a record that is on that theory. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know if I talked about this on one of your shows, where there's a reptile that had it not stopped evolving, it was millions of years advanced than we are, that we would be basically subservient to it right now. I mean, this species would have gone on and basically ruled the world. And it was a species of iguanodon, which was like a 6-foot tall lizard that stood upright and walked around upright. And if it had continued on its evolutionary path, it would have been basically like what
the dominant.
A lot of people claim are some of the races of aliens, you know, are, you know, reptilian, and then you have like the insect ones that kind of look like insects and stuff like that. And I never really thought of it that far into it, you know what I mean? I just thought of other life, you know. But you know, this popular thing comes up, man, is these grays and these insects and these reptilian, you know, ones
repeatedly, so over and over and over again. Right.
Crazy shit, man.
Right. When something seems to reoccur, you know, every myth that we hold as myth today has an origin story. You know, Vlad the Impaler led to a lot of the Dracula stories through the Bram Stoker discoveries of what he did. And, you know, some of the Bathory stories fed into that. You know what I mean? The lore related to the moon, and people do act a little goofy when the moon is full. And you know what I mean? A lot of those tie into that. So I do wonder 50 years from now, how much of what we hold to be mythological today will actually not be, you know, we will have come to find out there's more truth to it than we thought.
Exactly. And you know, man, when it all comes down to it, I just want a hot hybrid alien to fly me away from here, man.
Oh, to fly me. I thought for sure you were going to say I want a hot hybrid alien to fuck me. I thought for sure that was coming. But hey, fly me away from me here, fuck me, one of those, you know.
Hey, it's our first date, you know. So hopefully she's
let me get to know her. Right, I got you. I got you. Well, brother, hey, from the metal god's lips to your ears, I hope you get to meet that hybrid chick that flies you away one day.
Can you imagine the weed that they have?
Dude, that shit's got to be purple and green and all kinds of amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, I wish more than nothing else that you meet a hot alien chick with 6 sweet vaginas and the best weed you ever smoked, brother. I wish that for you sincerely. Well,
Chris,
I'm not
thanks for
even going to
having me on.
ask you. What's that?
Thank you for having me on the show again, man. It's always a pleasure.
Fuck yeah, I love you, brother. I'm not even
Yeah,
going to
man,
ask
love
you if you'll come back because I'm already going to assume I can talk you into it. So.
That's right.
Fuck yeah. Next time there's
Yeah.
Snipers Jams, come back. Let's hang out again, man. Let's do it.
Well, I'll be here a lot more then.
Fuck yeah. Well, and hey, a quick shout out to the other me and Skully. Hopefully they're somewhere right now like winning money, man. You know, fucking.
Yeah, man.
That'd be nice.
Get that blackjack.
Fuck yeah. Hopefully soon as you guys all out there watch this episode and then shoot on over to social media, hopefully there's a picture of me and Skully looking all stupid holding up a bunch of coins and cash, and that'd be cool. Fuck yeah.
That'd be sick.
Fuck yeah. Skully says hi to you, Mr. Bossier, and to all of you Metal-O-Maniacs out there, by the way. She'll be back soon hanging out with us in the studio to do some shows.
Hello, Skully.
Bossier says hello, Skully. And so do the Metal-O-Maniacs out there.
Guys, have a good trip.
Fuck yeah, man. Hopefully it's fun. It's already underway, so there you go. So.
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. And this is our way of not missing shows while we travel around. We still want to bring you the metal. So, and in doing so, I got 2 more jams for everybody before you get out of here. But if you don't mind, after these 2 songs are over, matter of fact, Bossier, you're here. Will you shut off the lights and lock the door when this is over, sir?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, good. Appreciate it, sir.
Got it.
Well, let's close this thing out then with some Vulvodynia. We played Vulvodynia before for everybody out there, and me and Skully have had a great deal of fun talking about their name being a condition in which the fucking chicks have a vagina that hurts all the time for no reason. That's got to suck, right?
Yeah, man. Ouch.
Ouch, man.
I just think about like in addition where your nuts hurt all the time or something, man. No way, man. There's no way.
Dude, think about that. The pain you get from getting hit in your nuts. What if that just happened all the time for no reason?
Yeah, no.
Well,
Yeah.
there'd be a brutal death metal band named after whatever they called that condition, and there is for this too, and that's Vulvodynia. And the new release is Preanuntius Infinity, and we're going to play Deocidal Finality from it. And then our very last song of the show tonight is going to be Cuttered Flesh, which is Chechia, brutal death metal out of Chechia.
Nice.
These guys have been
Man.
around for a while. Their brand new release is called Sharing is Caring, and we're going to play Black Aurora from it to close out the show tonight. Fuck yeah, man.
Very cool. A lot of great bands coming out of that area, man.
Dude, no bullshit. Dude, Russia and the Ukraine and fucking India, and we got Godless coming on, and
Yeah, it's awesome.
fuck yeah. Oh, and a quick shout out, reminder to everybody, please do follow our YouTube channel, follow Oblivion Studios and Snipers of Babel, get your merch, and keep hanging out, man. We'll be back next week with we'll be talking to Genocide Pack soon. We'll be talking to 200 Stab Wounds. We got lots of good interviews coming up, so keep hanging out with us out there, everybody.
Excellent.
Fuck yeah. Thanks
Good
for hanging
shit.
out, Mike. I love you, brother.
Love you back, man. I'll talk to you guys. See you, Skully.
Oh, Skully saying bye to everybody, and hopefully we're winning money in Vegas.
Woo!
Here you go. 2 more jams. Much love.
And you won't need a doctor when I'm done. You'll need a priest to pray over your body. See you in church.
Ultimate potential
Bend over, boy.
Damn, girl!
What do you mean, not the type? Man, don't you know who I am? I'm Big Dick Black. I've done more porno movies than you ever saw.
Well, Psyche can work that old black magic on me anytime she wants.
This just in. Scientists have discovered that once you've been infected by Metal-O-Mania, there is no cure. Contact Skully right away for more and more metal to feed the dragon.
Hey, this is Hazard, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania with The Crypts. Oh, yeah.
Everyone, this is Dave White from Heathen, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania with The Crypt and Skully. Metal!